This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. October 10th is World Mental Health Day, and this year we are saying thank you to therapists. BetterHelp therapists have helped over 5 million people worldwide on their mental health journeys. That's millions of stories and millions of journeys. Behind each one of them is a therapist who showed up, listened, and helped someone take that next step forward. Moments in therapy, like asking the right questions, having a safe place to get emotional or cry, or small wins, they can change lives. This World Mental Health Day, BetterHelp is honoring those connections and the therapists who make them possible while showing how easy it is to get guidance from a licensed therapist online with BetterHelp. I've been doing therapy for over 2 years and I couldn't recommend it enough. It's helped me so much with relationships with my friends, families, even myself. It's helped me understand myself better, and it's just made for such a better life. It really has. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. And it works with an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 for live sessions based on over 1.7 million client reviews. This World Mental Health Day, we are collaborating with those therapists who have helped millions of people take a step forward. If you're ready to find the right therapist for you, BetterHelp can help you start that journey. Our listeners get 10% off of their first month at BetterHelp.com/PFF. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/PFF. Moving on to the next game, let's go to Sunday morning. Got another international game in London. This time it's the Denver Broncos taking on your New York Jets. Maybe a little bit better cross international borders, you know? It wasn't working so good, you know, within state lines. Maybe international game is exactly what the Jets need. Tell us, Dalton, what do you think happens?
I think, look, the lesson here with the Jets, more than any scheme, and we've talked about their offensive line talent and different struggles and things like that. The Jets are 0-5, but there is one team they have beaten repeatedly, Trevor, and that is themselves, okay? So, I mean, when you look at just the self-inflicted wounds, I'm not even going to go on either side of the ball because it's just all team-wide, offense, defense, special teams. Here's a list of things I'm going to throw at you that the Jets have done so far this year. They've committed the 4th most penalties, all right? They've missed the 5th most tackles. They have blown the 3rd most coverages because we keep track of busted coverages around here, and they have lost the most fumbles. When you commit penalties and miss tackles and blow coverages and lose fumbles, you're going to lose ball games. So until the Jets stop beating themselves, they won't have a chance to win any of these ball games that they're in, especially the ones against good teams like Denver, right? So that's step number 1, because there have been times where, okay, they've run the football well, and then they fumble it. There have been times when Justin Fields has thrown the ball reasonably well, like week 1, and then, fumble on a kick return, and then committing penalties, and then missing tackles on defense and blowing coverages that they're not good in coverage right now, the 2nd worst coverage grade in the NFL. These are the types of things that when you talk about a team beating themselves, and they don't have the error to make they don't have the margin of error to make too many of these mistakes because they are a bottom 5 or 6 talent level team in the NFL anyway. But when you do this to yourself repeatedly week in and week out, you don't give yourself a chance to win, and that's how some of these games are over, like their last 2 games by just about halftime.
Yeah, I think that the point that you make there is a really good one. It's not that teams don't make these mistakes. One, it's the fact that the Jets are making all of them at a really high clip, but also it's just the fact that they don't really have the margin for error. You know, if you get behind on the possession number or the missed tackles or the busted coverage, like they just don't have a lot to make up for it right now. They're just not a very explosive team, especially through the passing game, right? I mean, I think that's how you make up for a lot of this is when you are really good at the passing game, and the Jets just straight up are not right now. Something Teron said really made me think about Sean Payton and the Broncos specifically. And it's not a short week, but it is a different type of week. And I think that he's going to have some of those Thursday night principles that Teron was talking about in wanting to start fast. And that's something that the Denver Broncos have not really been able to do at a super high level so far 5 weeks into the season. They're 22nd in the NFL in total average points, I should say, in the first quarter. So 4 is that number there, and that's 22nd in the NFL. They're 21st in offensive grade in the first quarter, and then they're 31st in EPA per play in the first quarter. This is a game where not only do I think Sean Payton really wants to start fast anyways, Dalton, you know, just because it goes a little bit with what you were just talking about there, if you get up on the Jets early, you force them to play a type of game they don't want to play. And I think that is going to tell the tale of how close this game is in the end. Ultimately, I do think the Broncos win this game. I have them winning 24-13. But I think the margin for how much they win this game by depends on how fast they can start. And if they can start as fast as they have so far this season, we might see this team win by 15 plus points. But if not, maybe it's something closer to maybe it's a 10-point win, maybe it's a one score win, whatever it is. I just think that how the Broncos start out of the gate is going to tell the tale of really how this entire game goes.
Yeah, I agree. I think Sean Payton's going to have a good game plan because, again, the Jets have been so bad in coverage, just busting coverages and leaving guys wide open that it's been a big problem. I think Sean Payton is going to create lanes in the run game, even without his left guard, Ben Powers, who's going to be out for a while. This offensive line is really, really good. I think as long as they can get up on that second level and get up on Jamie and Sherwood and these linebackers that are dealing with not having Quincy Williams, I think they're going to be fine in the run game. I've got the Broncos pretty big in this one, 28-10. There's just not a ton with the Jets until they stop making those unforced errors and then start executing at the level that they did, say, in week one, at least offensively against Pittsburgh. They just don't instill a ton of confidence right now. I've got Denver big in this game. I think they take care of business.
And Bo Nix actually has been pretty good in the first quarters. Now, he hasn't been super explosive, but 71.7 passing grade in the first quarters, 5 weeks through the season. That's top half of the league. So he's been fine. He's been average, if not a little bit better to start these games. It just hasn't been super explosive. His average depth of target, I can't remember where it ranks amongst quarterbacks in the first quarter, but it's much lower. It was something around like 5.5, 6 yards down the field as an average depth of target. So they just haven't really pushed the ball a lot in the first quarter. And I wonder if we see them be more aggressive to see if they can connect on a couple of those deep shots to get up on the scoreboard a little bit and force the Jets to play a type of ball that they're very uncomfortable with.